पाद की जय। जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंस परिव्राज आचार्य अष्टोत्तर सदा श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर महाराज शिल की जय। जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। Hare Krishna. Welcome everyone this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. We are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter number 19, King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. And today we will be doing text number 35. So please repeat after me. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Please repeat after me. Text number 35. Kratur Biramatam Esha Deveshu Duravagraha Dharma Vyatikaro Yatra Pakhandair Indra Nirmitai Kratur Biramatam Esha Deveshu Duravagraha Dharma Vyatikaro Yatra Pakhandair Indra Nirmitai Kratur Biramatam Esha Deveshu Duravagraha Dharma Vyatikaro Yatra Pakhandair Indra Nirmitai. Prabhuji, please. Kratur Biramatam Esha Deveshu Duravagraha Dharma Vyatikaro Yatra Pakhandair Indra Nirmitai Kratur Biramatam Esha Deveshu Duravagraha Dharma Vyatikaro Yatra Pakhandair Indra Nirmitai. Mataji, please. Kratur Biramatam Esha Deveshu Duravagraha Dharma Vyatikaro Yatra Pakhandair Indra Nirmitai Kratur Biramatam Esha Deveshu Duravagraha Dharma Vyatikaro Yatra Pakhandair Indra Nirmitai. Put to a translation. Kratuhu, the sacrifice. Biramatam, let it stop. Eshaha, this. Deveshu, amongst the demigods. Duravagraha, addiction to unwanted things. Dharma Vyatikaraha, violation of religious principles. Yatra, where? Pakhandai, by sinful activities. Indra, by the King of Heaven, Nirmitaihi, manufactured. Okay, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jagat Guru, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation, please repeat after me. Lord Brahma continued, stop the performance of the sacrifices, for they have induced Indra to introduce so many irreligious aspects. You should know very well that even amongst the demigods, there are many unwanted desires. Purport. There are many competitors in ordinary business affairs, and the Karma Kanda chapters of the Vedas sometimes cause competition and envy amongst karmis. A karmi must be envious because he wishes to enjoy material pleasures to their fullest extent. That is the material disease. Consequently, there is always competition amongst karmis, either in ordinary business affairs or in the performance of yajna. Lord Brahma's purpose was to end the competition between Lord Indra and Maharaj Prithu. Because Maharaj Prithu was a great devotee and incarnation of God, he was requested to stop the sacrifices so that Indra might not further introduce irreligious systems, which are always followed by cripple-minded people. Just too quick, Mangalacharan. Om Jnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-salakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahiyam Dadati Sha Padantikam Bandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapada Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Namo Mahabadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaur Tushe Namaha Bancha Kalpataru Vesya Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Welcome again this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class to the temple of Shri Shri Radha Gopinath. So we're doing Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 4 chapter number 19, King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. And today we're reading text number 35. I'll read the translation once again. Lord Brahma continued, stop the performance of these sacrifices, for they have induced Indra to introduce so many irreligious aspects. You should know very well that even amongst the demigods, there are many unwanted desires. Who is saying this verse here? Who is speaking this verse? Whose words is this? Lord Brahma. Right? Lord Brahma is saying, Kratur biramatam esha. Kratu means sacrifice. Biram means stopping. Okay, I'll give biram to my speech. People say like that, right? Biram means stopping. And kratur biramatam esha. Esha means this. Lord Brahma is saying to King Prithu, Kratur sacrifices, biram, stop, esha, this. stop this sacrifice. Like that, Lord Brahma is saying to King Prithu. So this sacrifice is very popular sacrifice, very famous sacrifice. That's why it is recorded in the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. And we read, we chant, we hear, and we release this sacrifice. In ordinary affairs also, right, there are so many sacrifices. So many people get married, there is sacrifice, right? So many people do so many karma kanda, there is sacrifice. So many kind of yajna they do. But we don't read that. We don't hear about that. We don't care about that. And we don't forget about we releasing that. We don't care about that. But the sacrifice performed by King Prithu, we release that. We hear that. We meditate on that. Right? So why is so important? I'll describe why it's so important. Like chapter itself is saying, King Prithu's 100 horse sacrifices. Like King Prithu is like going to, this chapter starts by saying like Maitreya Muni saying to Vidura, my dear Vidura, now King Prithu has started his 100, is starting his 100 horse sacrifices. We call Aswamedha Yajna. King Prithu is starting his Aswamedha Yajna where? Anyone know where? Anyone like to guess? Where is that? Of course, like there is Saraswati river, but exact is like King Prithu is starting his horse sacrifices in the place where Saraswati river flows towards the east. Saraswati river is flowing towards the east, and that place is known as. Anyone like to guess? Sorry? No. The place name is Brahmavarta. So King Prithu is doing his sacrifice in the place known as Brahmavarta. There in that place, the river Saraswati is flowing towards the eastern direction. The place name is known as Brahmavarta. And this place was controlled under the Maharaj Swayambhuva Manu. Swayambhuva Manu was controlling this place. Now the important part of this yajna comes here now. So in that sacrifice, he is doing in the Brahmavarta. He is doing there. And what happens there is, even the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is residing in everyone's hearts as a Paramatma, Ishvara Sarva Bhutanam Riddeshe Arjuna Tishtati. Supreme Personality of God, Krishna, in his Paramatma feature, is living, residing in the Riddeshe, in the heart of everyone, all the living entities. That Supreme Personality of Godhead, who dwells in everyone's hearts as a Paramatma, he was there. And other explanation of Supreme Lord was given there. Who is dwelling in everyone's heart as a Paramatma, who is the master, who is the enjoyer, who is the proprietor of all the planetary systems, and who is the enjoyer of all sorts of sacrifices, results of all sorts of sacrifices. We do some sacrifice, right? The result we get. Actually, Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he is the enjoyer of that sacrifice. And description is given, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who dwells in everyone's heart as a Paramatma, who is the master, right? Bhoktaram Yagya Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. All the lokas, all the planetary systems proprietor, he is the Maheshwar. And he is dwelling in everyone's heart as a Paramatma, and he is the enjoyer of all sorts of results of all sorts of sacrifices. And he was personally present there. So because of that reason, we read this sacrifice. We hear about this sacrifice. We chant this sacrifice. We meditate on this sacrifice, and we relish. Because Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, he was personally present there. So when he appeared on the sacrifice, when Supreme Lord appeared on the sacrifice, different demigods like Lord Shiva, Lord Brahma, and different Lokpalas, right? There are different lokas, right? Higher planetary system, sun planet, moon planet, different lokas. All the Lokpalas was also present there. All the Lokpalas, along with their followers, they all were present there. And when Supreme Lord appeared in that sacrifice, the Gandharvas, Apsaras, and the great sages, everyone was glorifying. Everyone was praising the Supreme Lord. And everyone was praising like that. And not only the Lokpalas, not only the Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, so many other personalities were present. Just like the great, even the greatest of the mystic powers, right? Mystic powers, greatest of the mystic yogis, they were present. Even the sons of the Daityas, they were also present along with the Yakshas, Daityas. Everyone was present in that sacrifice. And most importantly, Supreme Lord was accompanied by his associates, headed by Nanda and Sunanda. Everyone was present there. And that's why, like, when Supreme Personality of God is there, so that becomes very auspicious. That becomes very pleasurable to hear, very pleasurable to think about, very pleasurable to talk about. That's why we release this katha, right? That's why we talk about these sacrifices. And not only that, the greatest of all the devotees who are always engaged in the devotional service of the Lord, like Narada Muni, Kapila, Lord Kapila, Dattatreya Muni, and the four Kumaras, they were also present there. And everyone was glorifying Supreme Personality of God's presence there. And like, he did like, King Prithu did that sacrifices, and earthly planet, Earth was very satisfied, very, very happy. Because of that, the earthly planet appeared as like Kamadhenu, it is mentioned Kamadhenu. So Kamadhenu means that fulfills all sorts of desires. So Earth was appearing like that. All sorts of desires was being fulfilled. And people were performing the sacrifices. And all sorts of daily necessities of life was easily supplied by earthly planet. And also description is given, right? The oceans and seas were full of jewels and the pearls. And the rivers and the mountains. Mountains were giving the natural chemicals and natural fertilizers also. And oceans and seas, they were full of pearls, full of jewels, right? And the big, big trees. Trees were giving like abundance of fruits and abundance of honey. So that was the sacrifice. That's the glory of that sacrifice. The tree was giving abundance of fruits and abundance of honey. And at that time, the cows were nicely fed with green grasses. Because of that. And cow was giving all sorts of, like, cow was fulfilling like desires of the people by providing abundance amount of milk, ghee, right, clarified butter, this kind of nutritious things cow was providing and fulfilling everyone's desire. So this is like very important like thing to understand. Like King Prithu is in charge. King Prithu is like in the position of leader, and because of that, like everyone is satisfied. He's doing yajna, and Supreme Personality of God is personally present there, and even like the oceans and seas, everyone is like providing the jewels, pearls, right? And cows were giving abundance of milk. This kind of things was happening, and this kind of description we find in the reign of King Yudhishthira also. Like when there is like good leader, when there is like pious leader, very religious and devoted, who is a devotee leader, then everything becomes auspicious. Everything comes in right place, and everything like seems to be like arranged like very perfectly. In the reign of King Yudhishthira, it is mentioned, right? Babarsa kamam babarsa parjanyo sarva kama dugha mahi. Like the rain was like, there was a proper rain always. There was never like lack of rain. There was never over raining. There was always the proper rain, like good amount. Kamam babarsa parjanyo sarva kama dugha mahi. Just like in the yajna of Maharaj Prithu, the earth is acting as a Kamadhenu and providing all sorts of things, all sorts of necessities. Same way like in the reign of King Yudhishthira also, sarva kama dugha mahi. Mahi is earth. Sarva kama dugha, all sorts of desires, all sorts of necessities was being fulfilled by earth. And Sisichu sma brajan gava payasho daswatir muda. And during the reign of King Yudhishthira, right, all the land, all the pasturing area, all the lands was filled with the cow milk. Sisichu, like we do sicai, right? We do irrigation. We put water in the plants, right? That's we call sicai. And we normally put water, but in the reign of King Yudhishthira, the cows were providing the milk in the land. Sisi chusma brajan gava. Why was that? Payasho dhaswatir muda. Like the cows were so satisfied. Cows were so pleased. There was a religious leader. Because of that, they were assured like they won't be slaughtered. They won't be killed. They were assured. And because of that, they were so happy. They were in great pleasure. And their milk bags were swollen with the milk. There was abundance of milk. Because of that, their milk bags were swollen. And they were happy also. Payasho daswa tir muda. They were muda. They were in great pleasure. And because of that, they were providing all sorts of things needed. So that was the reign of King Yudhishthira. The thing is, like, when there is proper leader, when there is good leader, everything comes in proper, everything seems to be like everything is perfectly arranged. And that we can learn from the Maharaj Prithu's Yagya and Yudhishthira Maharaj's reign also. And what we can learn from this, right? Same way like Srila Prabhupada says, right? When there is like proper king, when there is like good king, all the citizens, all the country become flourish, all the citizens become happy. And when there is like not good king, the citizens become miserable. Their desires are not fulfilled. Their life is chaotic. They don't know the value of their life. They don't know the goal of their life. That's the situation. Like from this, like practically what we can learn is like we also want to be leader, right? When we learn this, like, okay, leaders are there, proper leaders are there, good leaders are there, then everything is in perfect order. Then what spiritual masters movement is there? We should take leadership. And we should take leadership and we should take charge. Okay, things are not going well, I'll take charge because this is my Lord's temple. Things are not going well, I'll take charge because this is my spiritual masters movement. Either we should think. And we should take charge and we should also come as a proper leader. Then everything will be in perfect order. The movement will go on very flourishingly. Everyone will feel spiritual satisfaction and everything will go on very nicely. The thing is like continuing to the King Prithu's yagya, right? Everyone was nicely satisfied and King Prithu was like greatly devoted to Lord Krishna, who is known as Adokshaja. He was like greatly devoted to the Supreme Lord. Because of that, he was superhumanly enhanced. He had got the special mercy of Supreme Personality of Godhead. And his like opulence was very nicely growing. His fame was very nicely growing, and everything was in perfect order. But in that case, like Lord Indra, like just like one time King Yudhishthira performed Rajasuya Yagya, right? He performed Rajasuya Yagya, and at that time everyone was satisfied. Different like personalities from different parts of the universe, different Brahmarshis, different Rajarshis, great devotees, like Narada Muni, right? Vyasadev, great personalities. Everyone was present in the Rajasuya Yagya of King Yudhishthira. Same way like King Prithu's Yagya, Aswamedha Yagya, also everyone is present. All the great rishis, all the great Lokpalas, right? Great personalities of the different parts of the universe, everyone is present. And like when King Yudhishthira performed his Rajasuya Yagya, everyone was nicely satisfied, everyone was pleased. But King Indra, King Duryodhana, Prince Duryodhana, he was not satisfied. He was burning with envy at that time. Same way, like just like Duryodhana was burning with envy when King Yudhishthira performed his Rajasuya Yagya. King Prithu is performing Aswamedha Yagya. Now King Indra also burning with envy. Why is that? Does anyone know how one can become Indra? How can one can get the position of Indra? Does anyone know? Yes. Sorry. Yes. When one performs 100 horse sacrifices, then he gets the position of Indra. And in case of King Yudhishthira also, it is mentioned like after the Mahabharata Yuddha, Mahabharata war, he performed 3 horse sacrifices. 3 horse sacrifices. And King Indra, he performed 100 horse sacrifices and he got the position of Indra. And he got that fame, he got that glory, oh King Indra, Lord Indra, like that. But it is mentioned like King Yudhishthira performed after Yuddha, Mahabharata war, he performed 3 horse sacrifices. And his fame was as glorious as King Indra, it is mentioned. Because he was a great devotee of Krishna. Because he was a pure devotee of Krishna. And his fame was as much as that of King Indra, it is mentioned. And here like King Indra, like King Maharaj Prithu is performing Aswamedha Yagya. He has performed 99 Yagya now. And he's going to perform 100 Yagya. So when he performs 100 yagya, then he gets the position of King Indra. And King Indra is like bit fearful of that. Okay, he's going to finish 100 yagya. Now my position will be in risk. My position will be in risk. He's thinking and he's feeling bit envy of that. And what he does at that time, he steals the horse that was meant for the sacrifice. He steals the horse that was meant for sacrifice, and he goes away into the aerial path. And there is a great sage named King Atri Rishi, and Atri Rishi is telling to son of Prithu Maharaj, okay, King Indra is going like that. He understood. Atri Rishi, he understood the plan of Indra. He understood the activity of Indra, and he's telling, okay, now Indra is going like that, telling the plan and activities of King Indra, and son of Maharaj Prithu, and he's going there. And what happens there is when he goes there, and King Indra, Indra had assumed the form of a sadhu. He assumed the form of the sadhu. He had matted hairs, right? Matted hairs, and all over his body there was ashes. All over his body there was ashes. And when son of King Prithu, he saw that, he didn't want to kill at that time. Hey, he's a sadhu. How can I kill him? And he goes back. And again, Atri Muni is telling, he's Indra. He's doing this activity to obstruct your father's sacrifice. He's doing such a lowly activity. Go and kill him, like that he gives. And at the time he goes and he wants to kill at the time to Indra. It is mentioned that he was chasing Indra, just like king of the Baljar, right? Jatayu. He chased Ravan when Ravana kidnapped Mother Sita. And son of King Prithu was also chasing Indra like that. And at that time, King Indra gave up all his dress, left the horse also, and disappeared from the scene. And the son of King Prithu, he brought back the horse. And all the rishis, all the brahmanas, they were so satisfied by his activity. And they gave him the name. Anyone like to guess what name they gave him? Yeah, they gave him the name Vijitasva. Vijitasva means who conquers the horse. Also horse. Vijita means winning. He's conquered the horse and he brought back. And all the rishis, they become very happy brahmanas. And they gave him the name Vijitasva. And Lord Indra, we can see in this Lord Indra's, in this sacrifice, during this Leela, we can see the activity of Lord Indra very nicely. And at that time, he gives up his dress, leaves the horse and goes back. He disappears from the scene. And the son of King Prithu, Vijitasva, is bringing the horse back. Right? And again, right after some time, what happens? King Indra is he's not giving up, Again, after some time, he creates some very dense darkness in the sacrificial arena. There is the very dense darkness situation was created like that. And it is mentioned King Indra was very powerful. Powerful King Indra created such a situation, dense darkness in the sacrificial arena. And in the dense darkness, he again stole the horse. The horse was it is mentioned the horse was shackled with that golden chain. See, those days, this kind of glorious things we get to hear, right? Horse is shackled with the golden chain. Cows are given very nice cloth, and in their hoofs and in their horns, there is a golden plate, at least silver plate. These kind of things we get to hear when we read Srimad Bhagavatam pages. These days, these kind of things, very, very rare to see, rare to hear also this. And very purifying to hear also. Okay, horse was shackled with the golden chain, very purifying, right? And cows were given the golden plate in their hoofs and golden plate in their horns also. Very purifying to hear, very satisfying to hear, very purifying to meditate. Glory of Srimad Bhagavatam. And King Indra created such a dense darkness situation in that sacrificial arena. He again stole the horse. And he again going in the aerial route. Again Atri Muni is telling, see, Indra is again stealing your father's horse. Go and attack him. And he again goes there. And he King Indra is appearing as a sadhu this time also. And first attempt it is mentioned King Indra was appearing as a sadhu. He was wearing sadhu dress and all over his body there was ashes and he had a matted hairs in the first attempt. And second attempt it is mentioned. that time also King Indra was appearing like a sadhu. He had a staff, and on the top of the staff there was a, anyone like to guess? He had a skull on the top of the staff. He had a staff, and on the top he had a skull. And again, like Vijitasva is coming. He's sadhu. How can I kill him? And he again goes back. And again, Atriman is telling, he's Indra. He wants to obstruct your father's sacrifice. Don't leave him. Kill him. And Atriman is telling. And Vijitasva again wants to attack. And at that time also, he leaves the horse. King Indra leaves the horse, and he goes away. And just drawing the point here, like King Indra, we can see, right? He's like not giving up, when Vijitasva came for the first time, he gave up his dress, he left the horse, and he went away. He didn't fight with the Vijitasva. He's like using his intelligence there, He's not fighting with the Vijitasva and like engaging in the fight. He's just giving up. Okay, I'll give up the dress, give up the horse, go away. And everyone is happy. Okay, he has brought the horse back. Vijitasva has got the horse back, and everyone is come. And everyone is happy. And at that time, again, Indra is like creating the scene there, dense darkness. Again, he's stealing the horse. He's like using very nice intelligence there. He's not giving up. So we should learn these things. Of course, like he's doing these things. He's accepting the dress of a sadhu. He's doing these kind of tricks. He's not giving up. He's using his intelligence for unwanted things. Dharma beti karo, right? Dharma beti karo. He's violating the religious principles. He is pakhandair, right? Sinful activity. Because of his sinful mentality, because of his envy, he's doing this kind of activity. We shouldn't follow this, but of course, he's not giving up. He's utilizing his intelligence, and he's like on and on. We should at least learn these things from this sacrifice, from this incident. We can learn from this. And it is mentioned like after that, like King Prithu could understand the king. Sages told King Prithu, okay, King Prithu is King Indra, Lord Indra, is accepting the renounced order of life, taking the form of a sannyas. And he's taking the form of the sannyas, and what he's doing? He's trying to obstruct your sacrifice. Why he's taking the form of sannyas, form of sannyasi? He's taking the form of a sannyasi to fulfill his desire, to fulfill his envy, right? To disturb the horse sacrifice, to pat his envy. He's taking the form of a sannyas. And why we should take the form of a sannyas? Form of a sannyas we should take to engage in the service of the Lord, right? We want to take form of the sannyas to engage in the service of the Lord, to travel all over the world, to preach Krishna consciousness, to give Krishna katha, to give Krishna name to all the people in general, right? That's the proper use. That's the proper reason for taking sannyas. But here King Indra is taking form, the sannyasi base, form sannyas, and he's doing to pat his envy for his because of his sinful mentality. And King Prithu could understand this. Sages told him this is happening. And at that time, King Prithu became very angry. And like it is mentioned, like King Prithu was not being angry because of his sacrifice was being broken. His sacrifice was being obstructed. He was not angry because of that. We can see like very sattvic here, like sattvic mentality of King Prithu. Very sattvic King Prithu. He's like horse sacrifice being obstructed, again and again being disturbed, right? His horse is being stolen, again and again being disturbed. He's not taking that personally. He's not taking that personally. Okay, he's disturbing my sacrifice. I'll punish him. I'll fight with him. I'll kill him. He's not taking like that. He's taking, okay, Lord Indra has accepted the form of a sannyas to fulfill his sinful desire, to pat his envy. Because of sinful reason, he's taking the form of sannyas. He's setting the bad example. Now I'll punish him. I'll kill him. Like that King Prithu is taking. Very sattvic, right? Very calmly, very intelligently, very sastric point of view, he's taking like that. He's not taking out of his passion. Okay, he's disturbing my sacrifice. I'll punish him now. He's not taking like that. These things we can learn, right? From this sacrifice, from this incident, we can learn these things. So when we like take action, like when we become angry with someone, we have to hold back and ask with ourselves, why are we being angry? Why are we behaving like that? Is that for my reason? Or is that for the service of the Lord? We should take like that. And King Prithu, he's the leader. He's the emperor. He's the leader, right? He's the king. And it's the duty of the king to see right? Like everything is going in order. If like someone is taking the form of sannyas and fulfilling a sinful desire, that's not good, and he must punish that. If he doesn't punish that, then that's not the proper king. So he's King Indra, Lord Indra. He's setting bad example, and because of that, Maharaj Prithu is becoming angry and punishing. Why are you setting bad example? People will follow like that. And these things like, especially we can see in the Nepal and India also, right? Maybe in India also. Nepal we get to see a lot when we like growing up. We used to see like so many sadhus. They used to, some coming from India, some from different parts of the Nepal, right? They coming, taking the base of the sadhu. They used to beg, begging money and the drinking alcohol and eating meat, right? These kind of things. That's a bad example. That's bad. And Prabhupada writes, this all the things is happening because Lord Indra set that example, like that Prabhupada writes in the description. Lord Indra setting that example, and same thing is being followed here like that. So yeah, we get to see these things, right? People taking the, and like taking the dress of the sadhu, and not for the proper reason. They don't want to work. They don't want to do their karma. They want to beg and maintain their life like that. For that, they are taking form of a sadhu. They are taking the sadhu vesh. That's not good. And yeah, we saw like, I saw so many times, so many sadhus like that. Come, beg, eat unwanted things, on bona fide things, eat and drink. They used to do like that. And for that, like, when we see that, when people in general, they see that, and what will they have mentality for sadhu? Hey, sadhus are like that. They're taking the dress of the sadhu and they are begging, they are not working, living, they are like living like a parasite and doing all sort of unwanted things. People have that kind of impression, right? People have that kind of mentality against the sadhu. And I also had that kind of mentality. Hey, sadhu, see, this is the sadhu doing unwanted things. Sadhu, like that, I thought, what is the use of this sadhu? I used to think like that. And like when I heard, first time for Srila Prabhupada's lecture, like it was like very, completely different. Srila Prabhupada was complete for me at that time. And like, they are like sadhus are begging, right? And eating unwanted things, drinking unwanted things. Here, sadhu, Srila Prabhupada, he's speaking English. And like when I first heard like he's speaking English and I could understand there must be some substance in this sadhu, I could understand. And slowly hearing his lectures and reading his books, and I could understand like what the sadhu should be, what the real sadhu should be, what. And yeah, when people set bad example like that, we have a bad mentality for the sadhu. And like yeah, people like from the childhood, people are seeing that kind of sadhu, right? They are begging, they are doing unwanted things. They will definitely, when they like see, when they grow up also later in the future, when they see the sadhu, they will have that mentality. Okay, this sadhu also same. They will have that kind of mentality, right? That's why, yeah, like Lord Indra is setting the bad example. Because of that, King Prithu is becoming angry at him, and he wants to punish him now. And what the sages are saying, don't kill Indra. In the Shastra says, the version of Shastra is that only the animals is to be sacrificed in the sacrifice. Shastra says that. So don't kill Indra. If you want, we can chant the mantra. By our chanting our mantra, by our power of our mantra, we'll put Indra. He will come. We'll call Indra, he will come, and we'll put him in the fire sacrifice like that. Sages are saying. And they are going to do that now. Okay, we'll do that now. They are chanting mantra. And when they are like doing that, and they are like going to put the oblation. If they had put the oblation, King Indra would come and fall into the sacrificial fire. And when they were like putting oblation there, going to put, at that time, Lord Brahma is coming there and stopping. What are you doing this? Stop this like that, Lord Brahma is saying. Lord Brahma is saying, King Prithu, you are doing this Aswamedha Yajna to satisfy the demigods. King Indra is the head of the demigods. All the demigods are parts and parcels. All the demigods are under the leadership of King Indra. You want to satisfy the demigods, but you want to kill the leader? Why are you doing this like that? Lord Brahma is giving that argument and stopping him to kill Indra like that. stopping the Brahmanas to put the oblation like that. And Lord Brahma also says, he's also greatest assistant of Lord Vishnu, great devotee of Lord Vishnu. King Indra is like great devotee of Lord Vishnu, greatest assistant of Lord Vishnu, and you are also great devotee. You are the Supreme Personality of God himself, right? You are also great devotee. And why are you doing this? You both are not different. In one sense, he's saying you both are not different. Like, in the sense, like, we shouldn't mistake that they are not different. In the sense, like, they are not different because, like, King Prithu is the incarnation of God, and Indra is the representation of God. In that sense, they are not different. And Lord Brahma is saying, you are not different. And anyway, you are a great devotee. And you are performing this Asameda Yajna. This is like Karma Kanda Yajna. To get the position of Indra, you know the path of religion. You know the path of liberation. You know the path of bhakti. Why should you be stuck in this? Like that Lord Brahma is saying. Lord Brahma is saying to King Prithu like that. And that's how today's verse comes. Kratur bhira matam esha deveshu duravagraha dharma beti karo yatra pakhandair indra nirmitai. Stop this sacrifice. If you don't stop this sacrifice, like Lord Indra, we saw, right? We heard. He's not giving up. He's like using his intelligence. He's coming again and again, coming in different disguise and disturbing the sacrifice. Lord Brahma is saying, if you don't stop this sacrifice, Pakhandar Indra Nirmitai. Indra will create so many Pakhandas. Indra will again come in so many forms of sadhu and again set bad examples for people in general. So you should stop this. Like that, Lord Brahma is giving suggestion to King Prithu. So that's how today's verse comes. And we can see, right? Deveshu Duravagraha. Prabhupada says, you should know very well that even amongst the demigods, there are many unwanted desires. It is mentioned. So even amongst the demigods, there are many unwanted desires. We should understand the position of the demigods. Demigods are also like us, living entity. They have got the special power given by Lord to do the activity, right? And because of pious activity, because of pious karma, they have got their position of the demigods. They have gone to the heavenly kingdoms. They are also like us. And as long as people is like within the jurisdiction of the material world, within the jurisdiction of three modes of material nature, right? Whether he be in position of Indra, whether he be in body of demigods, whether he be ordinary human being, whether he be great king, great sages, right? Whatever his position may be, as long as he is within the jurisdiction of material nature, three modes of material nature, there will always be envy. There will always be unwanted things. Prabhupada is saying there are many unwanted desires. There are many unwanted things. The envy, pride, right? Insecurity. These kind of things are there, even amongst the demigods, because demigods are also like us. And we should understand the position of Krishna in this case now. Krishna is like beyond the modes of material nature, beyond the jurisdiction of three modes of material nature. In fact, he is the master of the material nature, right? Maya Dakshina Prakriti, Suyate Sacharacharam. Prakriti, the three modes of material nature. He is working under the jurisdiction of Krishna, working under the guidance of Krishna, under the direction of Krishna. That's the position of Krishna. Only Krishna is free of envy. Only Krishna is free of unwanted desires. Only Krishna is full with good qualities. Only Krishna is, that's the position of Krishna. And that's why, like, when we hear this sacrifice, we talk about, like, we're hearing this sacrifice because Supreme Personality of God is there. Description of Krishna is there. Presence of Krishna is there. Presence of great devotees of Krishna is there. Why is that? Their glory, their activity is very auspicious to hear. Very, very auspicious, very, very auspicious for everyone, whoever he may be. Very, very auspicious to hear. That's why we hear about this kind of sacrifices. Even though, like Mahabharata, right? Great war. So many people died in 18 days. Great war. We hear that. We talk about that war. What happened in that war. We talk about the conversation of that war. Why? Because Krishna is there. Krishna's devotees are there. The same, like, First World War happened, right? Second World War happened. So many people died. We don't give, we don't care that, we don't care for that, we don't hear about that. We may hear for some time, but we don't go again and again. Again, what happened in the First World War? Again, what happened? What did that politician do? How did that happen? These are, we don't contemplate on that. Okay, we may hear, we may go for one. Okay, this happened. Finish, khatam. But the war in which Krishna was engaged, in his devotees was engaged, we hear again and again, Mahabharata. We hear again and again we get more and more taste, newer and newer taste. More and more beauty of Krishna is revealed. Right? That's the position of Srimad Bhagavatam, dear devotees. That's the position of Srimad Bhagavatam. That's the position of Harikatha. That's the position of Harinam. We shouldn't take these things cheaply. Very glorious. You chant Hare Krishna mantra, right? Every time you chant, newer and newer taste you get. Newer and newer relishment, newer and newer beauty of Krishna is revealed in holy name. You hear about Krishna. Newer and newer Krishna's transcendental quality is revealed in his holy name, in his description, in his glory. So in the beginning, like one may not feel that. One may not, of course, like when we chant in the beginning, we want to sleep, we feel sleep. When we read in the beginning, we feel asleep, right? When we hear about the Krishna's glory, we feel asleep in the beginning. But consistently, seriously we want to hear that. Seriously we want to read that. Seriously we want to chant holy name. Slowly, slowly, the thing will rebuild. The glory will be revealed. Glory of the holy name will be revealed. And then you can't stop chanting. You can't stop chanting. You can't stop hearing about the glories of the Lord. You can't stop reading description of the Lord, description of this kind of yajna, description of war of Mahabharata. You can't stop. This never goes still. It is always transcendental, always newer and newer taste is coming. Newer and newer relish when it is coming. That's the position of Krishna. And we see here like the demigods, like there are in the demigods also there are so many unwanted desires. But the Krishna is only Krishna. Only Krishna is full of all auspicious qualities, all auspicious desires. Only Krishna is all auspicious for the living entity. And that's why like in the beginning, like we can see, right, the neophyte people, they think, wait, why should we worship Krishna? Why can't I worship Lord Shiva? Why can't I worship Ganesh? Why can't I worship Durga? They think like that, right? And we should understand their position. Like whatever we do, we don't do vaguely, we don't do blindly. We don't do blindly. We take Shastra, we hear from Sadhu, we read Shastra, we consult with the Shastra and Sadhus, and we do things. We just don't do vaguely. So yeah, in the beginning, people have that kind of questions. Why can't I worship others? Why only Krishna? Like people think like that. And we should understand the position of Krishna. We should understand the glories of Krishna through the pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada is saying in the purport also that there are so many NBs, right? So yeah, as long as one is in the jurisdiction of three modes of material nature, as long as one is within the material world, envy will always be there. Envy will always be there. Unwanted qualities, unearths will always be there. So yeah, we should worship Krishna. We should chant holy name of Krishna. We should serve sadhus, hear about the glory of Krishna, read about the glories of Krishna. We continuously do that. Slowly, slowly. Cheto darpanam arjanam. The cleansing of the heart will happen. Slowly, slowly, that unwanted desires, unwanted envy, these kind of things will be disappear. So that's the thing. So yeah, we can learn so many things from this verse. Very nice verse. Very nice for Srila Prabhupada also. So I would like to stop there. If anyone has any comments, please. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Mataji is saying, in this case we can hear like Indra, this happened in Satya Yuga and this sacrifice is happening and Lord Indra is doing so many things and he's bringing Upper Sampradaya, setting the examples of Upper Sampradaya, and especially in the Dwapar Yuga, other yugas, we don't get to see this Upper Sampradaya, means false sadhus. We don't get to see often, but Kali Yuga especially we get to see a lot. Mataji is saying, and do I have to say anything on that? Like that, Mataji is asking. Yeah, people are ignorant. People are in ignorance, and they don't have real knowledge. They don't have factual knowledge. When they don't have, and Upper Sampradaya is happening there. They take, just like I mentioned in the talk itself, the people are accepting the dress of sadhu, begging, living in the subsisting on others, drinking and eating unwanted things, unbonafide things, because of agyan. And beginning, like I also didn't have faith like the sadhu. Hey, sadhu is like that, but we understand the glory of sadhu like that, and it becomes our duty. Like ultimately, people like so many people. If we go outside, like so many people are in ignorance, right? And they don't know what's the goal of life. They don't know why are they living for. They think like work, make money, enjoy, family, friends, society. That's all their life is. And we should like extend our hands. We should go out. We should get out of our comfort zone and try to give this knowledge, transcendental knowledge of Krishna consciousness. We should give the real knowledge of real glory of the sadhu. We should, from our side, we should do that. If we do that, that will please Srila Prabhupada unlimitedly. Yes, UV Prabhu. Prabhu is asking, when we see like some devotees coming, like doing service nicely and reading, chanting, everything doing nicely, that sort of gives envy. So how we deal with this, Prabhu is asking. So yeah, these things are there. Of course, like we are not perfect yet. Envy, the unwanted things are still there. The traces are still there. First thing is like we should stick to worshipping Krishna. Main thing is we shouldn't like, okay, I have got so much anartha, I'm so fallen. I will give up devotional service now. We shouldn't think like that. These anarthas are there. Still we go. We go on doing sadhana. We go on doing bhakti. And other thing is we should understand the position of the devotees also. We should understand. We should have right perspective of everything. When we have right perspective, then we won't have envy. Personally, I take like, of course, like I also feel like that. I'm not like I'm talking here and I'm free of envy, nothing. I also feel like that. I also have so many unnoted things, envy, these kind of things are there. But personally, how I take is, I take as every devotee as the, like we see like Radha Gopinath is there. They are wearing very nice garland there, right? Very nice, beautiful garland they are wearing. And in that garland, so many different so many different colors of flowers are there, right? And I take like every devotees as the different color of flower. I take like that personally. That's my practice. Okay, every devotees are like different colors of flowers, and that flowers are connected and given to Radha Gopinath as a garland. I take like that. So, and if I take like that, then of course definitely respect will come for the devotee. Hey, he's the devotee of Gopinath, devotee of Radha Gopinath. Then that kind of respect will come. So yeah, that way I do. Yeah? Yes, Prabhu. Nice point, Prabhu. Nice point. The last. Sorry, bro, I couldn't understand your second part, bro. First part, I could. You saying like Lord Brahma is trying to chastise Prithu Maharaj, but that is indirectly given chastisement to Indra, like that you were saying, right? It appears, right? But could be. But here, for me, like I can see Lord Brahma is taking the part of the leader. He's taking the part of the leader, and King Prithu and King Indra, Lord Indra. They are like the different on different leaders under his leadership. We can say like that. And he's, hey, why are you fighting? Like that. He's given like that. For me, it appears like that. Second part. Mm. Yeah. Mm. So the Prabhu is saying like Lord Indra created so many bad example, taking different sadhus' dress, and did Lord Brahma do anything to correct that? Like that Prabhu is asking. So we don't see the description like the whatever did Lord Indra before he did. For that to correct that Lord Brahma doing anything, we don't see any description. But of course, to stop Lord Indra from again creating so many bad examples, again setting so many bad examples, he's coming in this yoga sacrifice and telling, stop this now. Because of this reason, such and such bad result is happening for the people in general. So he stopped this. Like that, Lord Brahma is telling to King Prithu. I'm not exactly sure. Could be in Satya Yuga. I'm not exactly sure. Okay. जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम महापुराण की जय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, श्री श्री राधा गोपीनाथ भगवान की जय, जय निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे।